lesson on Ben Franklin today. We are going to pair off into groups of 2, and I'm going to have you guys look up his death date, his birth date, and 10 things he contributed to history and science. Afterwards, I'm going to help you guys kind of make a kind of script, and so we can perform in front of our classmates and kind of have like a theater thing. So, pair off into groups, take out your devices, and start looking up 10 facts about Ben Franklin and his birth date and death date. Okay? So here are my groups.
Okay.
Jeremy, pass out some pens.
Oh, thank you. I like blue.
And take the blue.
I did.
Hang on.
No problem. Do you guys have any questions?
No.
What kind of facts do are there any facts that we, can't put on there?
I would just say make sure your facts are more geared towards the scientific kind of things he did and more towards the contributions to history. So if Ben Franklin's favorite color is blue, that's awesome, but we kind of want to do more things that are towards like how he helped science and how he helped like maybe a historical event, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right.
The car.
Did you get the basics?
Yeah, there. You can say he was
Wait, first his birthday.
birthday.
Pause. Everyone.
Okay, so he was born January 17th, 1706. And then he died April 17th, 1790.
January. Here.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, they got all the information we did, so I didn't need to.
You put it.
Alright. So now we're going to go to my most
April
trusted
17th,
source for these 10
1790.
facts. Wikipedia.
We could say that he was.
Okay, hey guys, I heard you guys want to use Wikipedia. Make sure you use viable sources and educational sites. Because we don't know exactly what's on Wikipedia, so we want to make sure that we have viable resources. So look for things that are like, if you go to benfranklinhistorymuseum.com, that's a really good source. It's sponsored by these people in Philadelphia, and they can tell you all kinds of cool facts about Ben Franklin.
Where
Can I
did
use
you
biography.com?
That's a good
Yes.
question.
Cool.
Math.
Thank you, Professor.
No problem.
I'm currently using biography.com. So 1748, he was the richest man in Pennsylvania.
He invented.
Are you guys
But
having
where's
a good time finding his facts, or are you having trouble at all?
Oh no,
I
this is.
think we're good.
Yeah, we're actually.
Honestly,
There's a
yeah.
lot of good stuff on
And
here.
organized the first successful
what part of
American
it is
Indian
named?
How are
library.
you guys
Pennsylvania.
doing?
Pretty well.
Okay, cool.
We're on our second fact.
Actually,
Okay, that's okay.
And of course,
I missed it.
Okay.
he also developed bifocals.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Good dude. Good dude.
Are y'all finding anything cool out? Do you want to share with the class?
Apparently by 1748 he was 42 and he was the richest man in Pennsylvania, which is really cool. Explains how he did a lot of cool stuff.
Wow, man.
Finding cool facts?
Just wow.
Yeah.
He's a very loved man.
Oh yeah, except for by someone named Madame Helvise, who rejected his advances.
Oh, wow.
Poor guy.
Swift.
After this decade, France. He was the oldest delegate at the Constitutional Convention at 81 years old.
Oh.
He was
he
also
invented
an
the
abolitionist,
first rocking chair.
And constitutional convention.
as well as being an abolitionist, which is also incredibly rare.
Also, apparently, he made the
That's Sharpie.
flexible catheter and American.
Isn't it true? It's a common misconception that most people believe he was a president, even though he wasn't.
Yes, that's actually, it's very surprising how many people think that. A lot of presidents, because they are put on dollar bills and various coins. Benjamin Franklin, and I want to say he is, if not the most, one of the most like confuse people in history, and it's really interesting. Also, a lot of people recently, because of the Hamilton musical, get confused that Hamilton was not a president because of the fact that he had like those papers go out about his kind of side projects he was working on, we'll say it that way, and actually he was not allowed to be president because he was an immigrant.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
it actually has nothing to do with the whole thing that went on. So, yeah,
Thank you, Miss Sweeney.
no problem.
Actually, funny enough, he may not have been president of the United States, but he was the 6th president of Pennsylvania. Cool.
Facts.
Rock facts.
Apparently, he was in the development of an harmonica,
About to say something like
which is a musical instrument composed of spinning glass bowls and a shaft.
Did you put the Franklin stove on there?
That's
Okay.
good, I can do that.
While we're doing this, I want you guys to star the top 3 facts that you like the most or you find the most interesting.
Which one?
Hold on.
Was
His
it?
self-education earned him honorary degrees from Harvard,
He
Yale,
actually-
and England's
he-
Oxford
he-
University.
Storms don't always travel in the direction of
He's small.
That's
the
really
He sort of figured out.
That's
I'm just
yeah. That's right, because he's the one who started the almanac, isn't it? The Farmer's Almanac or whatever.
Poor Richard's Almanac.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
That's a good fun fact.
Yeah, my spelling is going to be atrocious.
It's okay. It's better than mine. I guarantee you that. Well, he actually wrote Poor Richard's Almanac under the pseudonym Richard Souders. Good stuff.
Let me put that in. What was it?
Richard Souders.
You guys
No,
doing well?
what was the name?
Oh, Poor Richard's Almanac.
What are you stuck on?
Which one? Actually, we'll go ahead and start starting
I'm
stuff.
looking for the science, but I'm stuck on the history.
Okay, so one way to go and do that is if
Okay.
you look and you look up like Ben Franklin inventions,
So, I would
or
say-
let's see, if you look up
Refrigeration.
exactly Ben Franklin
Definitely.
contributions
Oh,
to science, that could be really cool.
Thanks, Professor.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, we got a few inventions, Bakari. So
Right?
I think we've been pretty balanced on history.
Okay, guys, how are you guys doing?
Well, I'm looking at these facts and I'm stuck on the history and not so much on the science side.
Okay, so one way you can find more of the science kind of things, if you look in your search bar, look up things like Ben Franklin inventions, or maybe even like Ben Franklin contribution to science, or something like that. So kind of gear your question more towards science instead of more towards history. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you, Professor.
Okay, no problem. What's something cool y'all found out so far?
Well, we figured out that he was a pretty good abolitionist, and that he discovered refrigeration. Well, he discovered refrigeration.
Okay, guys. Now that you've found your 10 facts, Jacob's group, tell me 5 of your facts, 2 of them being your fun facts.
We found out that Benjamin Franklin discovered refrigeration, and he made really cool advancements in meteorology. He also wrote for the Poor Richard's Almanac.
And the fun facts, we found out that he wanted to have the wild turkey as the national bird, and also that he's a member of the International Swimming Hall of Fame.
It's really cool. I didn't know that. Okay. Now, Dustin's group. Can you give me 3 facts and 2 fun facts?
Of course, Miss Swinney. We discovered that he invented the bifocal glasses. He has honorary degrees at Harvard, Yale, and Oxford for his self-taught studies. And after he performed his famous experiment with the key in the lightning storm, he started setting up lightning rods to protect houses from storm damage.
Cool.
And then for the 2 fun facts, he created the first insurance company in the colonies, and then he was the oldest at the Continental Congress.
Cool. Okay. facts, you guys. Those are really cool. So now that we have these facts, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in our groups again, and we're kind of gonna make a script about Benjamin Franklin. So include some of these facts. If you want to use your phone again and use some more facts, maybe find some dates, that's okay too. But get in your groups again. I want you guys to make a script where both of you are talking. One of you can be Ben Franklin, and one of you can be whoever you want to be. You can be yourself, you can be another member in history, whatever you want. But get into your groups and let's start making scripts. Do you have any questions before we start?
No, ma'am.
No?
We're good.
No? All right. Let's go.
Okay, so do you want to play Ben? Or
Yeah,
do you
sure,
wanna-
yeah.
Alright, cool. So, like, you rush on the scene. You come out of nowhere. You're like, yo, hey, my stove's doing well. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Ben Franklin. And you're like, yeah, dude, it's me. I'm giving you my glasses.
And I'll start rattling off just like, oh, I did all this stuff.
Exactly. You're like, and I'm like, how'd you get here? And you're like, you just make something up, I
Yeah,
guess. You're like, hey, yeah, I wrote it on a cloud or something. Me and my kite, just like magical kite or whatever. Pretty
All
cool.
right, well, we gotta work that in though, because we gotta have some kind of
Yeah.
way to get it.
Okay, so she said we need at least 3. So we got like we have the stove and we have the bifocals. So what's the
Alright.
other thing you think we can do?
Here, we have to look at that list real quick.
Okay,
Throw it back, because I think maybe, I don't know, I don't want to shoehorn the meteorology thing into it, because
True.
that would sound more like a shoehorn than anything.
True.
We could do the, what about the odometer? Would that,
Well-
how would that work?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. Like it'd be like I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, we can like talk about maybe he can like emerge from like a fridge or something because he has refrigeration. He like comes out of a fridge and
But,
he's like,
I mean, we don't have props or anything though, so we'd have
Sure.
to explain that.
do we?
No,
do we have to?
no, we don't. We don't.
Yeah. You can just like
So-
rise from the grave like out of a fridge and be like, yeah, I'm out. And you're just like, yeah, I'm Ben Franklin. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, we gotta work on it. This has to be better than that. We
All
can't
right.
we can't just shoehorn that.
All right, fair enough. All right.
But I think we should say something about refrigeration.
Okay. Well, that would be cool.
Hey guys, do you need help with anything?
We're just trying to find a third way, a way to put one of his other inventions in here.
Okay, so what inventions do you have right now?
We have the stove and we have bifocals, like glasses and stuff.
Okay, so, what other things did you guys write about?
Yeah. We've got he was the richest dude in Pennsylvania. We have meteorology, the fact that he was the member of the International Swimming Hall of Fame, which is just,
That's cool. Okay, so, the first one you said, which was, where is it?
Richest man.
You can talk about how he became the richest man by making things like bifocals and by making things like you guys have been talking about. You
Yeah.
could do it that way.
All right.
Okay,
that,
yeah, all right.
That actually sounds like
that sounds
a pretty,
pretty
good
cool.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you guys need any other help?
I think we're good right now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, so this was
so,
red.
yeah.
Like, hey.
Yeah, just
Let's see here. You want to write it out?
here. Let me.
Yeah.
I would have to see. Let's see.
Gosh, yeah. That's good.
So I'm thinking we go with the interview approach. I'll ask the questions, and you're gonna be like Ben Franklin, and you're gonna answer said question.
That sounds fair.
Not the best interviewer, but this is how I'm gonna start out. This is what I'll start out with. So, Sir Franklin, when were you born, and what all did you do?
And then I have, well, Bakari, I was born on the 17th of January, 1706. I did a great many things in my 84 years of life. Could you be more specific?
Well, what did you do to better society as a whole?
As a whole, I did as much as I could to benefit society. I, of course, contributed in the Continental Congress to begin the process of creating an independent United States. It created a few interesting inventions, such as the bifocal glasses.
I wrote in an almanac called Poor Richard's Almanac. And I like to believe I was a fairly good swimmer.
Well, we've heard that you're in the Swimmers Hall of Fame.
That I am.
Too swift for me.
Okay, guys, how are you doing?
I think we're doing okay. What do you think, Mr. Picard?
I think we're doing quite well.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, or are you having trouble like putting any facts into your script?
I'm a little bit concerned about the structure of our script. Is it all right if we, for lack of a better term, just sort of have a bit of an information dump in one of our sections? Like, we have the opening to this interview, and then he asks what I did to better society as a whole, and then I list off about 3 or so things that I did.
That's okay, but if you want to kind of narrow in on it so it doesn't feel like, as you said, like a fact dump, what you could do is you can ask more particular questions, like, what did you do to help in government? And then you can talk about just that, and then he can talk to you about other things. And at the end, if you want to, since you're doing like an interview approach and you were talking about swimming during your script, you could be like, oh, can you tell us something that maybe not everybody knows about you? And then kind of end it like that on like a happy note. Does that sound good to you guys?
Sure thing.
Okay, cool.
Thank you,
Any
Miss
other
Winnie.
questions?
I don't have any.
Okay, do you?
Same question as him, but you answered it, so we're peachy keen.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna let you guys keep working. Good job, y'all.
Thank you, Miss Sweeney.
No problem.
So, more specific questions.
So, yeah, I like what she said about we could go towards, like, what did you do in the field of government and education, science, such like that.
Right. So, like meteorology, how he did the kite experiment, and in doing so, he developed the lightning rod because he learned the, what is it?
I don't know what you mean.
And after doing so, this helped in the building of, I would assume, the first fire department, or volunteer fire department.
I remember that he did make the first volunteer fire department. Okay.
I'm just
Okay, guys, great work on the skits. Now, what group is ready to go first?
Us.
Eddie. Right.
Hey everybody, and our skit is a time-traveling Ben Franklin skit. We're calling it Back to the Franklin.
I see my stove has made leaps and bounds.
Oh my gosh, it's Ben Franklin, the richest man in Pennsylvania, and one of our founding fathers.
Why, yes it is. I'm sure you could see by my bifocals.
How did you get here?
Well, you see, I got here simply by swimming. I was in the International Hall of Fame for swimming.
Wow, that must have been some kind of storm.
Why, yes it was. I've actually been documenting these storms for a very long time now, and I put them all into a journal known as the Poor Richard's Almanac.
Wow, you must have lived some kind of life, man.
Yes, it has been quite a thrilling adventure, and I must be going now.
Bye.
Are we good?
Great job, you guys. Now, Bakari's group, are you ready to go?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
So, our skit's based on, like, an interview with the good old Ben Franklin, and I'm the interviewer, Bakari Kuntz.
And I am the Benjamin Franklin.
So, Sir Franklin, when were you born and what all did you do?
Well, Bakari, I was born on the 17th of January, 1706. I did a great many things in my 84 years of life. Could you be a little more specific?
Well, what did you contribute to government-wise, such as Continental Congress or institutions that helped better society?
Well, government-wise, I was the oldest delegate to the Continental Congress, and for years before and after the founding of America as a free nation, I traveled to and from Europe to speak with politicians and delegates alike.
Well, I also heard you created the first volunteer fire department and insurance company within the colonies. Is that true?
Yes, it is. I also organized the very first lending library.
Quite impressive. Well, Ben, it has been nice having you on this segment of Info Time with Bakari.
It's been a pleasure being here, Bakari.
Thank you.
And see.
Good job, you guys. All right. Everybody, great job today in class. I really like both of your skits. Ta-da. Good job, everybody. I really enjoyed both of your skits. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Alexander Hamilton, since we're kind of talking about founding fathers and everything. We're going to listen to a little bit of the Hamilton musical in class tomorrow to kind of introduce who he was and some things about him. For tonight's homework, I want you to find 3 fun facts about Alexander Hamilton. Good job, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.